Well, here I am doing another recording with the ambassador. For him, it's very, very, very early in the morning, actually. For me, it's late at night. It's 9:46 p.m. I just got home about 9:30 from visiting my son. Anyway, the ambassador just finished a video, a question and answer with Gwen, and I don't even know the name of the program, but I'll probably listen to it tomorrow. And he was on for a couple of hours, and he's all wound up and wants to do another video now, which we were going to do tomorrow morning, but he wants to get it done tonight. So the ambassador talks about ownership, stewardship, and more is the title. So who really owns the collateral accounts? We hear lots of claims from the Dragon family, Swiss Indo, Mr. Sugih, Karen Hudes, Neil Keenan, and others. Whose wealth is it, really? What is its purpose? Who owns the property on this planet? Are people really owned? Are we slaves? Under the Admiralty Maritime legal system of Canon law, everything is a corporation, a legal fiction, including our strawman, that's all caps, name. How does the Dragon family see these things? How are they dealing with the cabal that wants to dominate the entire world, reduce the population, and enslave humanity forever? Mr. Ambassador, there's a lot of questions in that one, and let's let you go ahead and jump in wherever you feel is most appropriate at this time. You've shared a lot of things with me about people claiming to be owners of collateral accounts and stuff like that, so that's where I started, but you can start anywhere of any of those questions that I mentioned in the blurb.
Yes. Let's start with the ownership of funds to start with. Okay, we have a lot of people on the planet that states that, that they are the owners of the collateral accounts. And majority of the people that they're dealing with are not owners. They are keepers of these assets, custodians of these assets. Okay.
Stewards.
Yeah, and this is the situation. You see, I was going through some documentations that Kevin Hudes was having with Mr. Stroughton and together with some keeper, and basically she received a cease and desist, but that she didn't want to accept. But she was going on and on and on and on and on and on and on. It was a new strange bank that she was having on the paper also. And, why are you doing it? What is the ambition? Do you do it for your own personal, proud, and egocentric needs? Or do you do this to help humanity? Why don't you, as an higher person in the World Bank, go and speak to the owners? That's a question mark. Then you have another guy, a dear friend here, Sino and Swiss Indo, the same there. You are a keeper, claim to be the kings of kings. Now the question is this: it's also your time to remit and surrender. Why are you not doing what's right? How can you be an owner of something that you never owned, or where you ever only was given for safekeeping? Now we turn the same question about with Neil Keenan, who is in fact a broker, who tries to go to the keepers and try to get them to sign them over to them for his control to do humanitarian things that's supposed to help humanity. And why don't you go to the owners? You claim to be a part of some of our family members, and so why don't you go to the real owners and talk with them about your plans? And the situation, as I see, is that we all have to wake up, look ourselves in the mirror, and see what we can do to work together to make a better world together. And that's a very, very, very important fact. I have shown to you around the legal documentations that supports what I'm saying, so you can give that clearance to audience that you have seen it. And
yes,
so
I've seen the information forwarded from the Philippines to the ambassador about what he's talking about with Karen Hudes. So I have seen that with my own eyes. seen the actual documentation. I would be glad to provide it to Karen if she'd like to see what I've received. I think that's okay, isn't it? To give it to her, since her name is on it.
Yes. So the thing is this way: is it's important that we all, try to work together. Don't have these ego trips. Go out of this deception. And you, who has such a high education, such a high background in the World Bank, should know better than that type of Ponzi scheme that you guys are running. So I'm really hoping and praying for all of you to come to your senses and work together. Don't feel threatened by each other. If you really care for the best of humanity, let's work together. Very simple. This is not an attack. This is not an aggression. This is not to humiliate anyone.
Sounds like an invitation to me.
Yes, it is an invitation. Let's work together. And before that, go to your mirror, try to fit, and then look at yourself, and then ask yourself a question. Who am I, and why do I do what I do? And why I want to do it. Okay? And after that, come back, and then we can do something. Okay? Very simple.
Mr. Ambassador, remind the people again what the family's claim is as owners, and how they came in to be the controllers of this vast wealth.
No, the thing is this way: they've been trading and in the commodities for thousands and thousands of years. They have recovering these assets, used them for safekeeping, hold them as ransoms. They've been, having it as securities. They've been having them actually buying, selling, and receiving, and keeping them in a way that our nations didn't, because our nations were all busy waging wars, which they
our nations meaning the Western countries.
Yeah, and so they borrowed money for that too, and they were doing it in this way. That now suddenly they have taken about 95% of the world. All money is under the control of a family. So in reality now, what we need to do is to, as the caretaker of these funds and custodians and owners, for humanity's wealth, we need to work out a plan which already exists, how to put the world out of financial tyranny and liberate humanity. And we need to work together. All dragons needs to work together. All tigers too. Everyone, we need to work together, and the brokers and things, to do the best for humanity. And not to try to empower and enrich ourselves in the process and create new ego trips and new kings and rulers, but to actually do the right thing for humanity. And that's what we want to accomplish. That's what is the most important thing right now, is to unite and work together and ask for forgiveness, put all bad things behind us, and move forward.
If I'm hearing you correctly, the family has been basically the banker of the world, insofar as they have been the ones that have loaned money to the Rothschilds and to basically the Western kings and queens. The Western bloodline has gotten their funding basically from the family, because the family has been doing this trade for millennia, actually. So that's how, since they're the ones that have loaned this money to the rest of the world, they actually own title to the property that is on the planet, right? I mean, they own,
yes.
Like, for example, you own the Federal Reserve now. You own Bank of America. You own these banks that have borrowed money, not paid their debt, and so you've basically foreclosed on them as a family. Is that correct understanding?
Yeah, we took over, and we're gonna repurpose these organizations, and that's what we're gonna do. Not only there with European Central Bank, with every bank on the planet, and we're gonna try to do that. We're gonna trade away the death of people and make the people's debt disappear. Now we're trading and actually creating more debt on people. So we're going to reverse that whole thing. This new era of 555 will overcome the era of 666. And we need you, all common people, and every people else to take responsibility in this work, to empower ourselves, to not take part anymore in this aggression, to support each other, both physically, mentally, spiritually, even financially, to be able to pull ourselves where we need to be. Okay? To build our own little ark.
Does the family understand the legal ramifications of the current system? That is, that the maritime law system, or Admiralty law, or Canon law, whatever name you want to apply to it, is basically the law of corporations. It's not the law, it's not natural law dealing with human beings, it's dealing with legal fictions. Does the family understand that that whole structure is fraudulent?
Yes, they understand it, but humanity likes to have a system to escape. And the corporation structure is a way to escape
Responsibility.
reality and the consequences. Yeah, exactly. So what we need to do is that hold people accountable. We maybe need to reconstruct the corporate system too, to make the corporate system responsible. And so it's a lot of things that are going to happen. I have a strong belief that the BRICS alliance will be able to be a good counterweight in this yin and yang system and turn the tide of the world and bring it to prosperity. And these institutions, the creations of this what we call the Silk Roads, interconnecting the different places with trade and empowering weak people with more powerful things. We need to work on a global basis and basically learn how to work together, forget about cultural differences. Remember, we are humans, and sometimes cultural differences, the different colors, can be attractive also. So let's try to be happy and stay together, interbreed, live lives, and don't hate each other. And we were going to be able to set the goals that we need to liberate humanity. We have a plan, a detailed plan, but I cannot go out and tell everything. It's like me
I
going
understand.
out to say, I'm going to throw a front kick now, spin a kick, and this, now I'm going to strangle you, whatever. No, we take it very simple, step by step, baby steps, baby steps, baby steps, and we will finally, with patience, set humanity free, and we will, take away the years of tribulations that so many of the cabal want us to experience.
Yeah, that's the thing that gets me, is that so many religious people want to fulfill the worst of the Bible prophecies and the Nostradamus predictions and even the Edgar Casey predictions and the worst things. They want to see this cataclysmic world event that's going to shake everything and turn everything on its head and upside down and break the continuity of history, basically. So that we're thrown back into the Stone Age and have to start over. I mean, sometimes I think that's the idea that some people have. And I mean, why? Why would you want to have so much destruction on the planet that's our home?
No, I think this is a part of a psychopath mentality. And they like to escape realities. For them, they think that, this is a solution to get rid of a problem. And it's not a problem that needs to escape, because it's just going to create a vicious circle. We need to learn how to deal with the problem, and we don't need catastrophes. We don't need big events or catastrophes to be able to be repurposed. No, we are already in a bad state in the world. Let's take it from where it is to now, repurpose humanity from where it is today, and set humanity free, and take positive steps to liberate humanity. I want to say one thing, and it's a very strong thing. It's from your state, about the man that was basically arrested because he is feeding homeless people.
Oh, wasn't
Yeah,
that crazy? That's just a
yeah,
few hours south of where I live.
yeah. This is not only crazy, this is a crime against humanity taking place. I want the people of the state of Florida to raise up for him and demand him to be released, and remove this law and put the people in prison that wrote this law. This is a law that is against Geneva Conventions. This is an unlawful law. And this is actually a law that says that the poor people and people cannot feed themselves should die, and you're not allowed to help them. That's one of the worst form of tyranny that has been implemented in the United States history, I think, ever. So I think we need to do something really hard there to stop this type of aggression, stop this type of ignorance, and really do something for these people. So I really like to create a working group. I'm going to offer also some assistance from our side to try to help this guy, and we need to change that law. This is one of the worst things I have seen for a very, very long time. If we have that law in America, then basically don't come to me and say it's a civilized country, and don't come and tell me that's a country of the free.
Well, you know, under the current system, most of what they call laws, the statutes and stuff that they pass in all of these legislatures and councils and stuff like that that are involved in our political structure, most of the laws are actually aggression against the people and a violation of human rights, a violation of the Geneva Convention, a violation of the Universal Declaration of Rights under the United Nations, and a violation in the United States of our own Constitution, a violation of the Declaration of Independence. I mean, it's a violation of every principle of decency and humanity and actual law that exists anywhere. It's a slap in the face by this elite establishment, this cabal, to undermine everything that's decent in our world. And what you're pointing out is just a minuscule part, but a very real part of how they've made laws that actually make being kind and being compassionate a crime. Give me a break. I mean, this stuff has to change.
And people has to do something about it. And I'm shocked that the media is not all over the place. I'm shocked that ministers and people on the street is outside where he is to liberate him. People needs to wake up. If you forget him and you allow this thing to happen, then you have lost your hope, and you have lost your face, and you have lost my respect and the family's respect. Because everyone has the right to eat. Everyone has the right to be compassionate to others. If we don't allow to have that, then basically Satan has taken over the whole United States.
And we have the right to clean drinking water. Who was it? The president of Pepsi or something said that's
Nestle,
not,
I think.
Who is it?
Nestle.
Nestle's says that water is not a human right. I mean, that's what's wrong with people. I mean, and the man that you suggested, I mean, he's 90 years old, and they gave him 2 months in prison for feeding the poor, for feeding homeless people. Woo!
Well, welcome to America. Now the thing is this way, we have to put a stop for this. And this program here, I'm calling a challenge to the people of Florida and to the people of America. I want you all to raise up and show that you are men of courage, women of courage, and of basically any form of support for human rights. You need to rally out and you need to get that 2 months prison thing thrown out of there and remove that racist, discriminational crime against humanity law out of your state, and arrest the people who put that law into place.
Well, I think the judge that passed that sentence should spend the 2 months in jail. Maybe he'd learn to be a little more compassionate.
And he's not allowed to eat during these 2 months too.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you understand? I know that you're not the legal expert. The Red Dragon and the historian are both more legally adept than you are, from what I understand. But you do understand the principle of the straw man? Is that, or is that something, I don't know that we've actually had a conversation about that, but one of
Oh.
my friends asked me to ask you about it.
Hmm.
Do you understand that the straw man is a corporation, that they turn human beings into corporations so that they can enforce?
Yeah, and I understand this system. Yes, I understand.
Yeah. Well, this, to me, this is more important to change this. That and the way that the money is handled, the financial tyranny. Those are the things that really need to be changed if we're to create a better world, a more
Yeah,
peaceful and a more just.
it seems to me that someone wants to foreclose on the food on that corporation when they don't want to feed the corporation there. You know, it's if he is a company, he could maybe declare, "No, I'm a company. I'm not a person. So it's okay for me to eat." Okay. Now, with people, it's this: we have to be awakened to reality, and we have to be taking that type of system out of the books. You know, if we don't do that, I feel that this planet's gonna go down in a very bad line. Human beings, as well as corporations, has to be accountable for their actions, and basically, we should not allow ourselves to be a corporation, and we have to use the corporations that they have to be liable for their actions. And
Absolutely.
I think the creation of corporations is a way for them to not be liable for the consequences of what they're doing. That's why they create a fiction, which is corporations. So basically, what we need to do is to remove that liability clauses there and make them liable for their actions, even if you're a company or not a company. And the people in themselves also need to realize their own human value and not accept being looked upon as a corporation or as a collateral or anything else. Okay. And really, I was happy to talk to you, Ron, again about these particular things. And I hope that the people that I addressed don't take it in a negative frame. I want you all to go back and watch yourself in the mirror, do a soul search, and see after that what you want to do. Maybe call Ron and see what we could do to work together to liberate humanity. Okay, that's my solution and advice. And may all the listener have all success in their lives. And God bless you all.
Okay, well, I guess you just wrapped it up, so we'll leave it there. I thank you. I know you want to get some sleep, and actually so do I. But for you, it's quite a few hours earlier in the day. It's already tomorrow where you are.
Yes,
So thank you for grabbing me and saying, let's get it done now, and that way maybe I can sleep in a little bit in the morning. So bless you and thank you, and we'll talk again soon, I'm sure.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Namaste.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.